Hey, what's up, YouTube? Um, it's been a while since I posted anything. Um, just recently bought a house, and so now I'm sitting outside enjoying the yard. But recently, a lot of people have been writing me about Fulbright, and they've been asking for help with their essays and stuff. And so people have been asking the question about whether or not people should accept a grant or whether Fulbright should be the route they should take. And to be honest with you, I think that's a really good question. So instead of just being quick with the answer, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about my experience, kind of what it was like. So if you want to get to the more nitty gritty, like details, you can just skip forward. But so I applied for my grant in fall of 2014, no, fall of 2013 is when I started everything. And it really took me about 3-4 weeks to write my essays and to start the whole process. And it was my senior year, so I didn't really know whether or not I should just try to go straight into teaching. And so I decided to have the Fulbright on the back burner, and I did the interviews. And then come January, I got a email saying that I had an interview in Spanish with some people from Fulbright Columbia, and so I did that. It was only about 20 minutes. It wasn't too bad. Uh, and this was after, of course, after the on-site interview with the Fulbright advisor at my school. It's a small state college in Vermont, and 4 months went by. January, February, I found out literally like a couple weeks before graduation that I actually received the grant, and I was like, whoa. But then they gave me a couple weeks to accept it. And that's where I think a lot of people get to. They get to the point where, all right, they've done the whole application, and then all of a sudden they have to choose whether or not they want to accept the grant because they are essentially writing off a year of their life. So it's a big decision. And some people, they apply for it during their gap between their bachelor's and their master's degree, like I did. Some people apply to do some research. Some people apply to do it adjunctly with their PhD or with their master's degree. Everybody's situation is different, but if you haven't had a good opportunity to study abroad or to practice your teaching, Fulbright ETA or is a great opportunity, and it doesn't matter where you're going to. For those of you who are worried about the economic part of it, Fulbright, you're not going to be a millionaire. I was paid about $1,000 a month when I was in Medellin, Colombia, and that's like four or five times the minimum wage, and so that wasn't necessarily a bad thing. I was living well. I was able to have some fun on the weekends. I was able to meet people. I was able to travel, do excursions, and I was only working like 30, 35 hours a week, so it wasn't anything super time concerning. So it definitely worked out for me. And it was only a 10, 11 month time. And everybody I met there, they loved it. They loved the opportunity. Everybody got to network. When I first got there, we were able to meet the ambassador. His name was Kevin Whitaker. He was down in Bogota. He invited us all to his personal residence, and we were able to go meet him on our last day. They had all the cocktail stuff, all the fancy food. It was pretty cool. It really was. And then a couple months down the road, we had a 3-day conference, and the conference was kind of cool because we all get to check in after the first conference in September, or no, in August. And then we got like a week together in Bogota, and we got to work with the English language fellow, who was a part of the embassy, part of the cultural affairs part of the embassy, and we got to learn some pedagogy stuff and everything for teaching languages. And then they kind of set us on our way, and it was off just doing what we did. Looking back, I wouldn't have changed the experience for anything. I met a lot of awesome people. I met such great people from the U.S. I met great people in Colombia. It really helped me. I wanted to be a teacher, a language teacher, and it really, really helped me. It actually ended up helping me to become an English teacher here in the United States. because when I got back, I applied to do the Master's ESL program, the TESOL program, and I wouldn't have done that had I not taught English as a foreign language with Fulbright. And I did my Fulbright when I was 21, and I turned 22 a month after I got back. And I haven't had an issue in terms of getting hired as a teacher. I actually was offered a job in the airport when I was in Pennsylvania, flying back up to Vermont. I got a phone call to do my first official public school teaching year, and that was right when I was getting back from Columbia. I was 21 then because I turned 22 in July. So, um, having that experience under my belt really helped, especially here in Vermont where language teachers they're in need. So even if you accept a grant to go somewhere and you come back and you teach English, you at least have that under your belt. A lot of states have provisional licenses that you can use as teachers, so you can at least guarantee yourself something. But those of you who are really driven and you're having to choose between doing a master's degree or some other kind of study or your Fulbright, I just the fact that you were chosen to do your Fulbright, I would to get a Fulbright, I would just take it based on that. You've only got 75 years, I think 78 years now, on average, to be on this planet. So, spending 11 months funded to be down there working with a great program like Fulbright, I would definitely take advantage of it while you can. You never know what's going to happen to the program in the next couple of years because I can't say that the current administration is necessarily pro intercultural awareness. So who knows what's going to happen a couple of years down the road with Fulbright and the grants. But yeah, so long story short, if you get a Fulbright, accept it, enjoy life, get out of this country, go meet some people. Yeah, that's my 2 cents. All right, thanks.